Come on, Kevin.
No, Grandma, look. Grandma, we won the lottery.
Now, let me see here. 4, 32, 33, 42,
245, 21.
You got all 6 numbers.
Yes, we won. Oh! Grandma, 70 million.
Oh, Jesus. Why did this come phone?
Oh.
Jesus, I gotta call somebody.
No, can't call people.
Did you ever watch that show? I think it was either TLC or Lifetime. The lottery changed my life. And for a lot of those who were featured on that show, the lottery changed their lives temporarily, but then they ended right back up into their permanent situation of being broke. And that's because their mindset never changed before they got the money. Imagine finally getting the money that you prayed for, just to still make the same decisions that keep you stuck. This man won the lottery and still got arrested 3 times. So let's be real. Is it the money, or was it the money, or was it the mindset? I talked about broke mindset earlier this week, and I was like, this clip came right on time because I also mentioned the lottery and how a lot of people lose money because they're not used to having a lot of money.
A man who won a massive Powerball prize last year has now been arrested for a 3rd time. CBS News correspondent Chanel Call joins us live right now. Chanel, what do we know about James Farding's newest trouble with the law?
Well, Mugo, this is someone who made national headlines last year after winning that massive Powerball jackpot. He won $167 million. So certainly a large pot of money, right? This, by the way, his 3rd time being arrested since winning that jackpot. Lexington police say, Mugo, that on Saturday, they believe that he broke into someone's home, that he stole $12,000 worth of cash. He later was found at a gaming facility. He was arrested there by police, and police also say, Mugo, that they found marijuana in his car. So he was arrested for 2nd-degree burglary and for possession of marijuana. And we also heard from a spokesperson for Kentucky Council of Problem Gambling. And they're saying, Mugo, look, I know for a lot of people, this can sound like a dream to win millions and millions of dollars, but it can also be dangerous.
Yeah.
Many people, when they win large sums of money and they're not used to that kind of money available to them, become very irresponsible with it. And the money often disappears. We need to look at risk reduction. And this would be things like set a limit. I'm only going to spend $50 or $100. What you can afford to lose. What is money that's earmarked for entertainment purposes?
So Mugo, Farding appeared in court a couple of days ago. His mother posted bond for him on Sunday. Now he's sort of just waiting for the next step in this judicial process.
And you know what's really funny, Chanel? Someone asked me the other day if I wanted to win the lottery, and I said I just heard way too many stories of people winning the lottery and then their lives just fall upside down, and I feel like this is one of those cases. Wow.
Well, it's one of those things that we dream of winning, and we wonder what we would do if we won millions and millions of dollars. But the harsh reality is it can only help you so much. You know, it's not always the right fit for everybody.
See, and this is what people don't understand. Money doesn't fix behavior. Money doesn't fix habit, and we see it a lot. And money definitely doesn't fix mindset. I talk about mindset a lot on this channel. If you're interested, please take a look at my playlist. I'll put it up here. If anything, it exposes it. So you can change your bank account and still not change your life. Now listen to this one.
My dad won $13.3 million from the lottery. He took the cash payout, so he got, almost like half of that. He ended up running away to Vegas, bought a house, gambled a lot, spent a lot of time at the bunny ranch. He spent a lot of his money on heavy equipment, like skid steers and excavators and things like that. He wanted to start a company, and he never went through with it. He got cars and, all the luxuries you could think of. He was really into sunglasses. So he won in 2014, and he was pretty much broke by 2023 when he died. So he had some assets. He slowly started selling them before he died because he needed money, because he had a land contract with the Vegas house. So he bought it outright, and then he was going to sell it to somebody on a land contract. They stopped paying, but then they ended up suing him because he sold 2 of the properties out from underneath the guy, and so the guy sued him even though he stopped paying. But yeah, my dad pretty much left a mess behind.
So we have 2 different stories, but the same root issue. It's not just about the money. It's about patterns. It's about your mindset. It's about behaviors. And a lot of times it's about environment. I've talked about this on a previous video or 2 where I say sometimes you have to leave folks behind. I know we don't want to do that, but a lot of times in order for us to continue to succeed in life, some people have to be left behind. And it could be family, it could be friends. Sometimes you have to leave people behind in order to continue on with your life. I saw this comment on my previous video by Lenny Rob 88, and it really stood out. This is powerful because they didn't say they got lucky. They said they changed who they were around. They got around people who thought different. They got around like-minded people and started picking up new habits, new discipline, new standards. See, you don't just rise to your goals. You fall to the level of your environment. I want to repeat that. You don't just rise to your goals so I can be thinking highly of where I want to go. But if I'm in a certain environment and I can't get out, I'm going to fall right back down into that environment. You have to make steps to get out of those environments that are keeping you stuck. And that can be tough for a lot of people.
The biggest difference between the rich and the poor is their mindset. If you take all the money in this world and we divide it equally, it will soon go back to its own pocket. It's the same reason why 70% of lottery winners go broke within 3 to 5 years of winning a huge lottery. Let me give you 4 key mindset shifts that I had to make to go from a broke dental school dropout student to becoming a multimillionaire by age 30. Number 1, you have to stop complaining. Complaining is the worst thing you can do for your health and for your wealth. I'm a huge believer that what you focus on expands. So if you're complaining, that means you're focusing on problems, which means you're only going to attract more problems in your life. Number 2, you have to stop being comfortable. The biggest difference between the rich and the poor is poor people are always seeking comfort, while the rich people are comfortable being uncomfortable. Number 3, you have to learn to shift your perspective and control your focus. Rich people are always focusing on possibilities, which results in bringing more opportunities in their life. On the other hand, poor people are always focusing on problems, which results in more problems and obstacles in their life. Same business opportunity, rich people will see potential growth and poor people see potential loss. Number 4, poor people are always living a fearful life, making choices based on their fear, constantly searching for problems. Their primary mindset is, oh, what if it doesn't work out? Middle class is slightly more helpful. Oh, I hope this works. They use the word hope a lot. Rich people are different. They take responsibility for their life and they say, I will make this work. I'm going to find a way to make this work. We have what's called confidence in our ability to succeed. Unfortunately, poor people always expect to fail and lack confidence in themselves. Making money and becoming wealthy has a lot to do with your mindset.
Now, what do you think about that? What do you think about mindset? You know, of course, we all need the actual dollar bills in our hands and in our bank accounts. But what do you think about mindset helping you grow and become wealthy, become rich, become more confident? It's all about your mindset, I feel. Now, of course, that's my opinion. Everybody has one. I'm just saying that I wanted to share that with you as a possibility, as something to think about. Now, I also received another comment on that video by Motivated 2010. This is why renewing of the mind is so imperative. Now, D, see, I know her as D. Hey, D. And D said something that took it even deeper. Renewing of the mind and who you allow access to you. Remember, you control who has access to you, because it's not just about thinking better. It's about protecting your mindset once it starts changing. And you'll notice the change. When people start having different conversations around you, you feel like, not to sound high sedity or anything, but I'm past this point. I'm beyond this. I need to start surrounding myself with different people who have different standards and different mindsets. Everybody can't have access to you when you're trying to level up. And unfortunately, a lot of times what you'll start to experience is people will notice that you are leveling up and they'll become envious of you or show some type of jealousy towards you. And you don't understand where it's coming from because sometimes it can be subliminal, but you want to watch out for it. A lot of times you have to remove yourself from certain environments.
This about to wake up a lot of people. Sometimes people will talk themselves right into the tax bracket that they belong in. The tax bracket that they are already in. I was legit at work the other day. My coworker was tripping on the fact that I get Starbucks frequently. He was bothered by the fact that I could afford Starbucks. But let me tell you how we got to that point. I had $5. $5, a $5 bill. I took that $5 bill over to the snack drawer at our job. Snacks are 50 cents a piece and I didn't have any single $1 bill, types of quarters, no change in my purse. I asked, did anybody have change or knew where the person was who normally gives out change for the snack drawer? He immediately yelled out loud and put me on blast and said, I mean, what do you care, Jayla? You spend $17 on a Starbucks drink every morning. And then I had to remember, some people are mad at the fact that it's you, that you get to do what you do.
I had been watching a video, I think, or someone's live last week, and she kept saying, make sure that, you surround yourself by a certain type of people, or if it's something that you're looking for as far as abundance and wealth and things like that, and you want to make some changes, make sure that you surround yourself with the right people. And she kept saying this one thing that stood out. And she was saying, this is why people say you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Because whether you realize it or not, you start thinking like them, you start moving like them, and you start normalizing what they normalize. And this is the part where people don't like to hear. Sometimes you have to separate. And I said that before, not because you don't love people, but because you're trying to grow. And you can't build a new life with the same influences that kept you stuck. So let's get back to the beginning of this video where I talked about the lottery stories. So as we see, the money changed, the amount in that bank account and that amount that they saw on a regular basis changed, but the mindset didn't. The behavior didn't. The environment didn't. And that's why the outcome didn't either. You don't just need more money. You need a better mindset and sometimes a different environment. So before you focus on getting more, ask yourself these questions. Who am I around? What am I hearing every day? What mindset is influencing me? Because that right there can either grow your life or drain it. Think about your mindset and everything that you do in life. How am I feeling about this? What do I believe the result will be? Think about how you, like they said, frame your language. You want to reframe certain things and not always say, I'm broke, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. That's going to keep you in lack and in fear and in survival mode. And a lot of us are used to that. But we have to also think about the possibility for better. And I truly want better for you. So I thank you so much for watching. Think about your mindset. All right, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.